What up?
What's going on? So it's Drama and I on in. D is in the middle of tariff negotiations in China.
Yep, live, boots on the ground journalism. This is what we do for the Cathys, you know?
Besant sent D to Hong Kong and China and said, hey, we got to solve this. So we have a clip. Josh has the clip live from tariff negotiations. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yep.
All right, Cathys, what's up? I am in Hong Kong, been here for the weekend. And as you can see, I've made tremendous progress on the trade negotiation. It looks like we're heading in the right direction. Hopefully we'll wrap it up by the time I get out of here. Hong Kong is still thriving. Definitely different than 5 years ago, the last time I was here. A lot of the expats have obviously left, more locals, and the couple observations, obviously the food has always been good in Hong Kong. It's become exceptional now. A friend of ours from USC, Brian Wu, opened an incredible Vietnamese restaurant called Co Tan. With a few locations, ate there, was fantastic. Got to, our friend Brian Toll introduced me to a restaurant group out in Hong Kong called Black Sheep. And we ate at New Punjab Palace, which is like a Michelin star Indian restaurant. So good. And then we're eating at a few of the other locations of restaurants they have. It was phenomenal, just like incredible food. Highly recommend it. And I'll say the other interesting things, I see Teslas everywhere in Hong Kong. I barely have seen only one BYD, which is really interesting because you would figure that's not the sentiment you're hearing in America. Definitely a lot of people are, from the economic standpoint, things are tough out here. Things have been tough, but they're very actually optimistic about China. A lot of people are now going to Shenzhen for the weekend to shop, to eat, to get real value for their money, even vacation. So that's like a really interesting turn of events. That was never happening. I remember coming back to Hong Kong years ago, and most of the people in Hong Kong had never been to mainland China. Very different sentiment now. People are out there really enjoying what China has to offer. People are like really bullish on China, which obviously makes sense. But yeah, the weather's hot as usual, meeting a lot of really great people. There's still a lot of opportunity here. So that part's exciting, but yeah, it's a whole new world, and we're heading to China tomorrow. So I'll have hopefully a good update by the time I get back into the States. Have a great week on in Drama. I'll let you guys take it from here. Bye-bye.
So here's what I take from that clip, because it's the first time I'm hearing it. Same as Drama.
Yep.
Josh just kind of put it up. It sounded like a hostage recording from the CCP.
Yeah, I mean, what he's just eating. He's Anthony Bourdain. What's going on with the tariffs? I didn't hear the word tariff once.
Yeah, China's amazing. Hong Kong's amazing.
I think they might have him.
They might. He might be an agent.
Him. Yeah,
he might be a double agent.
They might have got him at the border.
Yeah, he's like, I have a podcast. Don't worry, I'll give a good shout out.
He's probably on a list already. Of all the things we've said about China, he's probably on a list. And they picked him up and they said, hey, here's what you're going to do. Send a voice memo. Talk about the food. Talk about mainland China. We might never see him again.
And the optimism.
Yeah.
Which is what you don't hear, which is reported in the news.
Right. Like, what are people thinking about tariffs? That would be my question. But maybe he'll get that more from mainland China.
He'll probably send another voice note by Wednesday.
He'll say, hey, everything is fine. This is D. Murthy. I am happy. I am eating great food. And everyone's optimistic. Tell my family I love them.
Exactly. Hopefully I get to see my kids again.
Yes. I'm happy. Well, look, I mean, I get it. And we'll obviously get a more thorough recap, especially I think mainland China will be a different thing when it comes to tariffs and stuff. And then we'll get the full scoop when he's back. But interesting. It is interesting. Okay. So thank you, D. Thank you to D. We'll get more on Wednesday, hopefully. And also when he's back, obviously, if he comes back. That being said, shout out to, I guess all of the Cathys who are mothers. Shout out to our wonderful mothers. Shout out to Amanda.
Yep.
Shout out to Haley. It's Mother's Day.
Your mom?
Yeah,
my
shout
mom?
out to my amazing mom. Your amazing mom. Oh, by the way, Anand, you're in trouble with not my mom, but my dad, because apparently my dad heard the episode last week and he never got a call, and he called you and left you a voicemail, he said, and no response.
He called me?
But he said, check your voicemail.
Oh, this is actually interesting. And now that you're saying it, because I don't answer unknown numbers. I don't have your dad's number.
Yeah, you might be in big trouble.
And now I'm is he 312?
330?
330?
Area code 330.
Yeah. I get so much spam on phone. Hey, I don't know if you
tell
do.
Tell it to him. Tell it to Andrew.
I'll talk to him. I don't know what he said. I didn't listen to voicemail.
He said he left you a voicemail. I just think he heard that. He heard us talking about you saying you were going to call him, and then he called you, and then, whatever, but it's okay. He just said, obviously you don't care about the heartland and the, the real heart of America. So whatever, you're an elitist. Yeah. So you're a coastal elite and it's whatever, but I'm sure you can.
Sorry, Mr. Path. We'll patch it up.
But anyway, today's not about the dads. It's about the moms. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah. Did you do anything special today?
I did it Friday.
Nice. With Amanda or with your mom also? Or
my mom was traveling. She came over today, but it's a pretty funny story. So I set up a dance floor in our backyard. Maverick's nanny built like this Happy Mother's Day thing. It was a surprise because Amanda's never got to do a Maverick Amanda dance. And so we did it at home, invited some school friends, some of our friends. And when I was telling some of the school moms and we were doing drop off, the dads were so pissed. They're like, because like, you're making us look so bad. He's like, you're doing this, this like big event for moms and their kids.
Yep.
And I was like, well, I don't know.
At least they had something to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you, you want to know my reporting from the field is I went and golfed today.
I'll post the pictures. Yeah, post the pictures. There's some good ones. Mav was in like a Navy suit. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, that's great. Good idea. I went golfing today and I have never seen a golf course so empty.
Oh, the dads had to stay home.
Everyone had to stay home. I think the sons had to be with their moms. The dads had to stay home. I mean, it was nuts, dude. You know how like, I don't know, I guess maybe a couple years of like Coachella or like there's these certain times where like the roads will just be completely dead in LA.
Yep.
It was like that. Like it was so crazy. It's a place, I went to a place where I go a lot. It's usually, almost every time, it's not like slam, but like, busy. It was a ghost town. It was crazy.
So golf dads actually had to spend Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to see because like, I don't know, you see memes and stuff about it, but like it's real, man. Like
that means tomorrow morning, if you were to go to the golf course, it's going to be slammed.
Well, I don't know because now everyone's back to work.
They don't work. Golfers still work.
I mean, look, I'm sure it will be like, especially at like country clubs and stuff, it'll probably be an uptick. I mean, the guy at the desk said that Father's Day is like Black Friday.
Okay. Because everyone gets to get out.
Yep. And Mother's Day is ghost town.
Interesting.
So it made me feel good about the world. Like, I mean, people are really spending time with their moms out here, or their wives or whatever.
Yeah. I think you have to.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Today was more chill, but whatever. We had a really fun time Friday. I'll post some pics on Insta, whoever follows me. But
yeah, please. And and shout out to all the Kathys that are moms or that, are husbands of moms or baby daddies of, just shout out to all of you. We all got moms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone and shout out to all the moms.
The only way you live is if you have a mom.
Right. Shout out to moms. Okay. News. Oh,
news.
One quick thing, real quick. Okay. We're looking for a video editor. Is Josh in the room?
Yep.
Josh, can you give me a little bit more insight on what type of videos this editor will be editing? YouTube?
So, yeah, YouTube, and then he'll be cutting the clips as well.
TikTok?
And if you're interested, TikToks, yep. Instagram, TikToks, all that kind of good stuff. So if you're interested or you know somebody who would be interested, just go ahead and DM the group chat Instagram. It's group chat pod.
Love it.
And you'll be the point of contact?
Yeah.
Perfect.
You hit us up. I mean, what could be better than just, listening to us talk all day?
Exactly.
So great job opportunity. And DM us if you're interested or you know someone who might be. Okay. News. Do we want to go in order? I mean, what do we want to talk? There's so much. This is fucking great. It's just such a great time to have a podcast where you talk about the news. Number one, I have a quick question. This isn't on the list, but I have to ask this. It's been eating at me all day. Is that video of Macron and the crew doing coke, is that real?
It appears real.
Is it confirmed like cocaine, or maybe they had some salt, or like what's?
It's unclear from what you just said, but people are reporting it as real that he was doing cocaine.
Like, is it viral? Is it like really? Is it?
Yeah, it's viral. And there's like legit news people posting it. And I don't want to sound stupid because tomorrow it could all get debunked.
Right.
But there's legit news people posting it as real.
Wow.
And
so if you don't know,
2025, you never know.
I know, dude. But isn't that crazy? They were on a flight?
Don't know where they were, but it is being reported that he was doing cocaine and he got caught on video.
Okay, so look, we weren't prepped here, team, because this wasn't on our list of topics, but it just blew me away. But like, there's a video of reporters kind of like unexpectedly going into a room with Macron from France and the German
Chancellor.
Yeah. Like it appears that they're like hiding a bag of cocaine, and like it's insane. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound naive here, but like, if that's what these guys are up to, like if I had a friend, or if we had an employee in the past, or like, which we did, but multiple, but and like you walked into a room and they were like doing coke, like in button-ups, like you would instantly be like, okay, well, this is an unreliable person. Like, I'm not saying, look, whatever you want to do, like maybe when you're partying, or I don't know, I'm not here to judge, but like you guys are like in a meeting room just doing lines of coke with like journalists in the next room over. I mean, that's insane to me.
So after Epstein, this seems like pretty lightweight.
Yeah, that's true. But these guys
and like,
are
why
crazy,
wouldn't you
dude.
believe they're doing cocaine?
You want to know why I don't? Or I mean, I do, but the reason why it blows my mind still is like, I think because like I don't live like that. We don't live like that. You, me, D. Yeah. We don't live that way. And I look at these people as like, they have a wild amount of responsibility and power and influence and whatever. And like, if that's how they're living, it just blows my mind, dude.
I mean, there's so many public articles about Davos, how it's like a sex worker. Yeah, it's a sex worker like feast and who's at Davos? All these guys, Macron, billionaires, you name it, every world leader, every president.
It's just wild, dude.
They go to Davos and apparently it's like a whole setup.
Like imagine if you walked into...
This is like reported by publications.
Right. I think it's just the fact that because it was never like a name put to it, like Macron is like a big, I mean, like imagine you visit D's office a lot, or we go there for group chat or whatever. Imagine you walked in there on a Tuesday and you opened one of the conference room doors on accident and there was just like his head of whatever the fuck doing coke and like hiding it. You'd be like, dude, who are you hiring? This guy runs France.
We've had employees at Reckless and 5-4 that would do the drugs in their car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then we would hear stories like, oh, so-and-so.
Right. And number one, true. But also I have to point out, none of those people were ever like the head of
the leaders.
You know what I mean? We're talking about the leader of France and Germany and fucking whoever else was in the room. This is crazy.
Yeah.
If I walked into a room and like our head of sales or our head of something was doing cocaine, I'd be like, oh, this place is off the fucking rails.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's
it blows my mind. Like I said,
everything's not shocking to me anymore.
Yeah.
Because we have just everything. So many things have been uncovered where, oh yeah, leader of France doing coke. Sure. I mean, Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs by an intern in the Oval Office.
Right.
And that was in the 90s.
But I guess so maybe I write some of that off because it's 90s. I don't know. It just blows me away. It just, yeah. Like if I saw the video of like, I don't know, if I saw this video of any big, I guess it probably happens. I don't know. Anyway, all right. That wasn't on our list. So do you have a favorite where you want to start on?
I'll start with AI. So I had an experience.
Yep.
Went to a friend's birthday dinner last week, and my friend says, hey, let's take a Waymo home. You're going to love it. And I've never been in a Waymo. And
I haven't either.
I got in the Waymo with my friend. She got dropped off at her place, put my address in next.
Yeah.
And I'm like just watching where I'm going. I'm just going the opposite direction of where I live.
And it
just keeps going. I'm alone. And it keeps going and going and going. And I'm like at least 15, 20 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
And so I just pressed end ride, and then I had to get out and get in an Uber and go home.
And you don't know, did you ask your friend like?
Yeah, she was like, I put your address in, and she's watching it on her phone. She's like, where are you going? I was like, I don't know. I'm not,
oh my
who
God.
am I talking to?
That's crazy. And then there's an end ride button in the car?
There is an end ride button in the car.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
scary.
where they would have taken me if I just kept. I should have, as an experiment, just be like, okay, let's see how far away he's.
Imagine the story of like, dude, Anand took a Waymo to Idaho.
Yeah.
You know? That's my question about AI. And I think it's probably everyone's question is like, I feel like AI has gotten, really, really good in general. I think this is a general statement, really good in the last, year or, since it really started being put out there for mainstream use. And I know that there's all these talks of like human jobs and stuff like that, but it feels like there's like a final 2% problem. Like which in all major. Of AI, like which is unworkable.
Like my experience was, think about it.
Right. And so here's my question is like, if you had that experience and you have Uber and Waymo in your phone, you're going to choose Uber every time.
100%. I will never take a Waymo.
Right. The same way that like if, you have AI running your some sort of accounting workflow or logistics workflow, like that 2% error still it makes it like unusable.
Because it's a premium product, right? It's not cheap. Right. So if you want to get cheap and use AI, you'll deal with that 2%. But the premium product,
right,
which is taking a private car to your house,
right,
and you might end up on the other side of town, is a problem.
Right. Also, like, I've heard of people using AI. Look, I think we have a story about it, but like customer experience, stuff like that makes sense. You can have some errors there and it's not like a deal breaker. But like if you're looking at financials or logistics or things like that, and I'm not saying that AI won't figure out people won't figure out the last 2%, but I wonder like maybe that takes another decade.
Yeah, we're not there yet, clearly, because of these types of errors. And, the story we're going to talk about is Klarna, which is like a buy now, pay later type situation.
Yeah.
They had to bring back humans because their Autobots weren't servicing their customers.
Right. What was their, they did it for customer service.
Yeah, customer service. I got to say, as someone like I've dealt with, we all do, like your utility company, your cable company, insurance. I prefer to talk to a human
all day. Like all day. It's so not there.
Yeah, it's not there.
It's not there.
When you call your bank and you just keep getting random agents that are AI talking to you, you're like, dude, this is ridiculous. I just want a quick answer.
This to me feels like for all the really smart people who listen, I know we have some specific people, like I'm not saying AI in general is necessarily a bubble, but I think this is the bubbly part of AI. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves of what we think it will be able to just purely replace humans. And I just feel like that final 2% that takes like human judgment, like, you know, to be able to sit in a Waymo and say, hey man, where are you going? Oh, they put the address in wrong. Let me correct it. Like that final human element feels very far.
Yeah, no, I think so. And, you know, just so for example, Maverick requires a handful of medications.
Yeah.
They all give the option, just automate it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I need to know that the medication's coming at a specific day because he needs to get it. And I sit on the phone for 20 minutes with some waiting for a human because I'm like, hey, I need to talk to it because it's so time sensitive. Why would I trust an agent? What if they're wrong?
Right.
What if they Waymo me?
Right.
What if they Waymo me?
What if they Waymo you? Or what if like they, you know, I'm not saying this is how you use it for Mav, but like, you know, what if they got prescriptions or dosage wrong or things wrong? You know, it's like there's these issues with scale that like could be life threatening.
And they easily can get it wrong.
Yeah. And you can just keep doing it and you could just keep pumping it out. And every month now all of a sudden, Mav's been taking the wrong dosage for 6 months.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. Maybe I would love for someone who's really bright in AI, but I feel like AI is much more like, what's the word? Like clunky than, you know, like, yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff it can do. It replaces Google search really, really well. That's for sure. And I'm sure that there's some like really low level, but I don't know, man. It just everywhere I look, because, you know, obviously I look at it a lot for our business stuff and for anything I can. And it just feels like maybe that last 2% takes, like I said, another decade or another 2 decades, or like maybe, you know, maybe there's very specific things it can do. But if you're talking about errors, you know, it doesn't catch. It still makes a lot of errors and doesn't catch them.
Yeah. Imagine if I fell asleep in this Waymo, where would it have taken me?
Right. Right. Imagine if you were from out of town. Imagine if you were wasted and not from here. You would have been in Santa Barbara and been like, man, this is, I didn't know you booked me. It sure is beautiful at this hotel.
Oh yeah. No,
and then you have a $400 Uber back.
Yeah, I mean, I got to Pico, which, you know where I live. It's not close to where I live.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this going? My friend is texting me because she's watching. And I was like, I got to get out of this. This car's not getting to my house.
Yeah, at least there's an emergency. Fucking stop the ride. I don't know. Look, maybe it's a bad take from my perspective, but it just feels like.
So then I'll give you the counter.
Yep.
I went to an event in Santa Monica last week as well. And our friend Curran, who you know, he has a Tesla.
Yep, Tesla.
And he has that self-driving thing.
Yeah, FSD.
He did not touch the wheel from Santa Monica to West Hollywood. I watched him and I was like,
neighborhoods?
And I watched him. He's like, look at my feet. I'm not touching anything. And I was like, is this real? And we're going, you know, on Sunset, like when you get off the 405, it's a little windy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not touching anything. Watch this.
Damn.
And I was blown away.
Is that what people are doing out here? Because, you know, in LA, there's Waymos everywhere. But the thing is, you can see, like, a Waymo is a very obvious looking car. With Teslas, you can't see. And so in my mind, I'm like, why is Tesla so far behind? You know, like, it seems like there's more and more Waymos every day, but maybe everyone's just FSDing themselves around this city and you just don't even know.
It's possible because I couldn't believe it. I was, Javier was with me.
Wow.
And I'm just like, is this real? He did not touch the wheel.
You want to know what's a trend in LA that I really hate is the like anti-Elon Tesla stickers.
Oh, I've seen a few. Yeah.
I've seen so many. It's so dumb. It's not even like an Elon fan club thing. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, either have your car or fucking don't. But you don't have to, like, there's this whole like thing. I think it's probably a big LA thing, I would imagine, but I see them everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, D's saying there's Teslas everywhere in Hong Kong. So.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty crazy. I was wondering about that. It still feels so crazy to me to let your car just drive you.
I thought it was insane. I was a little scared.
Yeah.
Because you're turning, you're going around corners.
And he was just like, cool as can be. Not worried about it?
Did not care.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, obviously we'll keep an eye, and AI is, essentially top 3 topics of the year, but I'm just curious, and we're seeing these news stories and we'll see what happens.
But think about the error. Imagine if we just crashed into a house.
That's my point. I don't get it, dude, because, imagine like one thing that feels like such a dice roll is people are just waiting for Elon to do anything wrong. And like one of those Teslas crashes and it's just like,
think about, you still need a person behind the wheel.
Yeah, and, for sure.
And the thing that is really concerning is, what if that person just thinks they can drink and drive because they're like, oh, I don't have to do anything.
I'm sure they're doing it. I am sure. Look, if you're telling me that all these fucking 22-year-olds that have Teslas have that same, I mean, there's no reason they don't have the same feature Curran does.
No.
So they're probably high and drunk and fucking just watching Pornhub and just going crazy, dude.
They're on TikTok. They're watching Kai Cenat. They're doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? Market is fucking ripping. Bitcoin's back.
Ethereum's back too.
Ethereum's back. I mean, this is interesting. Like, it looks like everything's going to really rip tomorrow too.
Futures are up pretty big right now.
Yep. Bitcoin 104, I think.
Yeah, 104. Ethereum 2518. I think it was 1500 2 weeks ago.
Now, here's my question, because look, I would love to jump on the MAGA train here, and I'd love to be like, yeah, fucking America. I'm all about that. But in my mind, there's still this like huge, so CPI was good, but rates are not being changed. There is this huge looming question, which is tariff negotiations, which is essentially the entire economy rests on this Chinese, where we land. There is no real, even though little tweets and stuff here and there, but no progress. So do you have, other than just always, stocks always go up and there's so much money in the, and America's the place to invest. Like, is there any reasonable explanation why we're just to the moon in right now? Or
I think it's liquidity. There's so many funds with trillions of dollars that need to put it to work. And COVID was my biggest lesson as an investor.
Yeah.
The world was shut down, but the wind was going up. Right. The wind was closed.
Yeah, right. And
the wind was closed.
Cruise lines
cruise lines, everything. And I think that's the lesson I learned, that the real economy doesn't correlate with the stock market.
Right.
And I actually talked to an investor friend that and he's like, oh, no, their market judges things on earnings. And I was like, okay, explain. The wind was closed from Sunday to Thursday, and the stock tripled.
Right.
There was no customers.
Right. What was the explanation? Never mind.
I guess.
Right. It's just like, I hear the earnings thing. I get it. And I get it. But like, I don't know, unless everyone's just really optimistic that the trade stuff is going to get figured out. I mean,
I think there's so much capital that has been raised by private equity firms, sovereign funds, hedge funds, that they look for any reason to buy.
Right. And it sounds like when the market drops, it's more of an issue of like leverage than anything, right?
Yep. Leverage is a big reason things.
So you view it looks more like pessimism, but it's really probably a leverage issue.
Yeah. So, people are going to see the stock market tomorrow. The NASDAQ's up 2% in futures right now. Right. I just looked. You're going to see the stock market pop, but you and I both know, as people that have been around small business, you're obviously importing from China a 20, even if they negotiate down from 144%, which is what it is now, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Even if it got down to 20%, that is meaningful disruption.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember in our younger reckless days, if we had to import denim that was $10, that's now 12.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It fundamentally changes your business model. It changes how much you can spend on ads. It changes how much you can, changes everything. But that's my point, is like, it is so much of our economy is made up of importing things from China. And with that, like, just up in the air, but I get it. You're right. It's liquidity and it's America and its stocks always go up. It's just, I think my question that I just solved, because you're right there. And my question was then why the sell off? But it's because of a leverage issue more than pure pessimism.
Yeah, it's a leverage issue for sure. So I think even Bitcoin, the recent rise, there were so many shorts. So I think Bitcoin got to like 77K, I think, a few weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And people were a lot of short squeeze. Bitcoin just went rampant.
Right. Because there's no explanation for that, right?
There's no news. I mean, you hear BlackRock saying they're buying more, countries are saying they're buying more, but I mean, Brian Armstrong was on CNBC in Switzerland, saying,
but that stuff's been happening.
Yeah. He's like, it's going to be millions of dollars a coin.
Okay. I fucking love it though. I mean, let's go.
Love it. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's just so much capital to deploy. Like I said earlier, that's it.
It just feels like the absolute best. This is not financial advice. The best investing advice in the stock market is buy the dip.
It's not even buy the dip, just wait it out.
I know. Well, wait it out's the true advice. But my point is like, okay, so if you looked a month ago, there was very valid concerns. And, we're talking about recession and it's valid. Like, it would be valid to say like, hey, play it safe. But if you bought the dip, it just feels like, I'm being a little wild here for the sake of doing it, listeners, but like, it's just all right. Shit's going to keep going up. So if it goes down, just buy more. Like, it's crazy. Nothing changed.
We've had one deal done.
Right. It's worse. I would say not only did nothing change, it's worse. People are just more squeezed.
So the White House announced today that there's a China trade deal. We have no idea what it is.
Right.
But just what we just referenced, it doesn't even matter what it is. It's going to hurt small businesses.
Yeah. Because it's not going to be.
It's not going to be zero.
Right. But man, I know it's a strategy in deal making, but like, if that ends up happening and the market rips and everyone and everyone just kind of like restructures, obviously some businesses are going to probably go out of business. But like, if this guy, meaning Trump, just set the expectation at 145 so that anything feels like a win, 40% feels like a win, that is wild. That's a wild.
So what's your temperature? Because obviously you sell to big box retailers. Yeah. What's going on today? We talk about it every week. I just want to check in.
Well, I would say, look, there's two things. One thing I've been saying on this pod, and it does feel kind of true, is there feels like a little bit of like something we don't know. We meaning everybody, that maybe like executives know. Maybe people have gotten a call, like the CEOs of the biggest corporations in the country, and they've said, hey, here's what's going on. Don't panic. Like, there's not an insane level of panic. Now, that being said, they are still, I would say all retailers, this isn't specific to anyone in particular, are starting to make interesting calls that they wouldn't have made before, such as like, what inventory do you have on hand that we could just take now so that we don't have empty shelves? How do we avoid empty shelves? Empty shelves is going to mean guaranteed no revenue, which means guaranteed not hitting our Target's bad news. So like there is a little bit, and I've heard this from other people too, of retailers asking their partners what inventory they do have that's already been imported that they could maybe just buy up in order to keep shelves full if things got really bad in the fall.
Have they started canceling orders on?
No, it's the opposite problem. Vendors? So like
they want more orders just at a cheaper price.
The problem is they're worried about not getting enough product because all of their vendors can't import it. And so they're trying to figure out how do we get product. Like I said.
And the other thing, just to add, because a lot of people have stopped importing from China because they have no idea what the cost is. Once this whole thing gets rectified at whatever % tariff, who knows what it's going to end up being.
Right.
There's going to be a massive shipping cost because there's going to be a rush. And the demand's going to be through the roof and there's not enough boats. There's not enough containers.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be the case. Like I will say a certain percentage will switch to other countries, but it's probably not an incredibly meaningful percentage. Too hard to do for most goods. Yeah, I don't see why I think you're probably.
So you're going to double cost, right? So think about a small business. Your shipping freight is going to double.
Yeah.
Your tariffs at least 20, 30% higher.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
Most won't. I mean, I don't know. Unless if the tariff comes back, which I would assume it probably will, at like still significantly higher than it was, I think a lot of businesses go out of business.
Because think about if the Flexport CEO, Ryan Peterson, said 60% fewer boats are coming from China.
Yep. That's a shit ton.
That's crazy.
Yeah. When you think about the volume, I don't know the volume, but like the 60% of whatever that volume is a lot.
Yeah. It's hundreds of billions of dollars.
And that's overnight. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that there is a chance that, because look, as we know, there's a lot of small businesses that, like barely make a profit, or some don't, there's a lot with investors that are hoping to get to profitable. But profitability, like strong, healthy profitability is not the norm, I wouldn't say. It's kind of what you aspire to.
If you're not a venture-backed company, private equity-backed company,
right,
and you're just a small business like what we did with our businesses, with Reckless, at best, you're at 15% margin. Best.
Right. And I would say, yeah.
Profit margin.
Yeah. 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 And I would say that there's a lot of businesses that do really well, but I don't think it's the norm. I don't think it's the majority. I think if you look out in the world and say, wow, look at all these small businesses, or you go to a store, you go shopping, whatever, I would say the majority are probably just kind of barely getting
single digit. Yep.
When you look at marketing costs and all these companies that you're getting ads for online, other than the huge ones, I mean, I'll be honest, even the guy from, this is really fascinating. I'll send it to you because you'll love it. The guy from Gymshark apparently releases his financials every year.
Okay.
And so he released his P&L. And
explain what Gymshark is.
Gymshark is a really big, like kind of emerging over the last 5 or 10 years, activewear company that really blew up on e-commerce and on Facebook ads and influencers and really whatever. I mean, they got in their financials, I believe the number is like 600 million or something. But
got it.
Last year. But
and it's like fitness guys, right? That are.
Yep. They really, I would say, probably scaled the most off of influencers. It's like the first fitness brand to scale in a massive way using influencers is probably how I would classify it. But even that company, which is a massive business, I don't remember it, so I'm not going to try to and butcher it, but like his profit margin is tiny, tiny, tiny on $600 million in revenue. So even just as an example, like the amount that he's spending on marketing and really marketing costs is the most of it.
What do you think the downstream effects of this are? So if you think consumer brands are going to be squeezed, is the influencer economy much different? It has to be, right?
I would have to imagine that if the tariffs land,
even if they land at 20 or 30%, whatever.
Right. I think you would have to believe that influencers and ad spend get creamed. I mean, look, if you have a business model that says if your unit economics are tight as a whistle and you make, a couple bucks or whatever percent, you make 15% on
15's high, it's mostly single digit numbers.
Right. Okay. So let's just say you make 7% profit margin after on your unit economics of your product and your cost and obviously your COGS, but then your marketing spend. So many people are spending so much on marketing spend, but you're squeezing that out and you feel like you can scale that number. If you mess with the tariff number, now you're losing $2 on every item. It's that big of a difference from that little of a shift. And now your basic economics of your entire business don't work.
Right.
And I think that will be really
scary.
common. Yeah.
And it's small businesses. It's not going to affect Walmart. It's not going to affect, sure, they may have some quarters where earnings are down, but it's the small guy. Main Street's fucked.
Yeah, but look, even I'm going to send you these Gymshark financials. And if you look at their financials and you add a 40% tariff, their business doesn't make sense.
Does Mr. Paff still own the photography studio?
He does, yeah.
I'm curious if he's seen.
Well, you should answer his phone calls and maybe he'll tell you.
Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah.
I don't believe so because I think that would be more like a recession would really hurt them because there's no international cost at all.
Yep.
It's more.
No, I know, but if the small business guy is going out of business, is he getting photos?
This is what it is. If a family can no longer afford to get prints of their school pictures, it's a problem.
Yeah.
That's where it affects. It affects the family saying we can't afford to do this thing, which could happen. I mean, that's pretty touchy. But yeah, it's I'm curious. There's a lot. So anyway, let me put a button on it by saying this. Everything that we just talked about is still up in the air. But the market is just ripping and I love it.
Market's ripping, crypto's up. I do think people should brace for just drastic increase in costs. No matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
It just can't, it's impossible. Doesn't matter what the deal is. Your costs are increasing.
Right. Because what's the deal where it doesn't? I mean,
the deal that it doesn't is you never did it in the first place.
Right. But I just wonder. I mean, I don't know. Look, I think that Trump is pretty concerned about how, the average American feels about him. And someone has to, he's not an idiot when it comes to business and margins and things. And there's plenty of people around him that would have to say look, man, a large portion of small businesses and their employees are going to get creamed. How do you navigate out of that? Does he do something the same way, we haven't heard anything about the TikTok deal. Where's that?
Yep.
Maybe there's a pause that's just kind of indefinite. And then in a year, the China's tariff on US goods is a little lower. I wonder.
Where are the Epstein files? Haven't seen that.
Yeah. We didn't even find out what happened to JFK, for God's sakes.
That was supposed to be, he said day one. Day one was supposed to be Ukraine, Russia, done.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Epstein files, JFK.
Yeah. I'll give him a pass on Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah, that's
hard to do.
Yeah, that's
Epstein files. I mean, come on.
Just release it.
It's just right there. Okay.
The whole world wants to see it. Okay,
yeah, they do.
Sorry.
No, it's great.
So Emirates is a very popular airline, if you don't know it, that is based out of Dubai.
Yep. Very nice.
And they're booming because there's a few factors. A lot of rich people have moved to Dubai for tax reasons.
Yep.
A lot of Russians have moved. A lot of Chinese people have moved.
Yep.
Russians, because it's obviously they're at war. So they're we're out. Chinese, they just want to get their money out and get to Dubai. a lot of Europeans. So in the UK, I read that 10,000 millionaires left last year. And I asked a friend who knows like London fairly well and was like, they're going to Monaco, they're going to Dubai, they're going to Milan. I said this on the last pod, this whole little rant.
Yeah.
But the point is the airline's booming. My mom's a travel agent. Yep. She was over today for Mother's Day. And she said the Emirates flights are 30 to 40% higher than everyone else. Like she does mostly India flights. Mm-hmm. And she said they're just commanding like a higher margin because everyone wants to get to Dubai.
So do you think this is purely Dubai's popularity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Dubai last January. It is what London is kind of, just as multicultural, right? Every race, every, like you see Asian people, Europeans, Australians, Americans, Muslims, you see everyone.
Right.
And it's just this like hodgepodge of people. And they've obviously they have their own issues. So I'm not going to like give them a pass.
Right.
Like human rights issues.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. Yeah.
But for people who have money, they've solved everything. No crime, no homelessness, nothing.
Right.
Just don't speak up.
Oh, it's so fascinating. Well, what's this? Emirates is going to pay a 22-week bonus to some of its employees because that's how well it's doing?
Yeah, they're just on fire. They just have record profits, record everything, and they're on fire, and they are taking care of their employees as they should. And their employees are from every country in the world. I don't know if you've ever flown Emirates, but whenever you fly, they say like, oh, we have flight attendants from 17 different countries that speak 25 languages. So anything you need, someone will be there to service you.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. Because, it's like you look at what's happening in Dubai and you're like, wow, there's so many great things, but also there's a part of it that you just wouldn't trade for the authoritarian sort of vibes. You know what I mean?
But if you're coming from Russia or China, what are you really giving up?
Right. But I will say, man, I feel like it's a really popular, I don't know if it's an Andrew Tate thing or what, but like single guys going to places like Dubai is very popular, even here, if they can afford it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And single girls. That's a big thing too.
Right. Like, yeah, right. Okay. Well,
if you talk to any Vegas promoter, they have a lot of stories about the bottle girls and their Dubai stories.
Yeah. I think that's a different lifestyle. Okay. What about, you want to talk about this Trump airplane while we're talking about planes?
Yeah, planes. So Qatar is gifting Trump a 747 Boeing plane, which I believe is $400 million.
Nice. This is fascinating.
After his presidency, he gets to keep it personally.
So he's going to turn it into Air Force One while he's president. He's going to get it.
I guess. I don't know how that works.
Okay. So this is just, we don't know all the details yet, but apparently they're going to gift him this plane. And what they're saying now is that they're going to turn it into, Air Force One, like essentially put all the stuff on it, all the technology and the, anti-aircraft and missiles and all that stuff. But then afterwards that Trump is going to essentially donate it to himself or to his library so that he can use it. How
many planes are getting gifted? Jared Kushner's going to get a plane. Josh gets a plane.
Are they?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Why not?
What's next?
What's this for? Like, why is Qatar so... This is just a nice thank you?
Yeah. Thank you. Make sure we're not in trouble because they are an ally of Iran. They are an ally of Hamas.
But I thought they funded these people.
Yes.
Okay.
So some of our Jewish friends are very upset about this.
Right. Because I would say Trump is, for the most part, very pro-Israel.
Apparently he isn't. I didn't know that.
But isn't he openly that? I thought
he was openly that. Apparently he's done some things. I'm not like following it day to day, but I have Jewish friends that that are are getting a little irked by all this stuff.
Well, I mean, a Qatar 747 is a that could irk some people.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And apparently it's unconstitutional. So you can't get a gift from an international country without congressional approval. And he doesn't give a fuck. So he's just taking it.
Well, they're saying this other thing is unconstitutional too. This, he posted a tweet that tomorrow he's going to have a executive order about drug costs.
Yep. He said prescription drug prices will go down 30 to 80%, which I'm all in favor of.
Right.
Because I deal with this. But there's no plan. And apparently that's unconstitutional as well.
Right. He's talking about like a favored nations policy where whatever the cheapest, because I didn't really realize. So I'm very not well versed in this, but I didn't realize that. I knew drug costs in America were very, very high and higher than, well, I guess, I don't know if I knew this, that they're substantially higher than anywhere else in the world for the same drug. And so what he's saying is that he's going to, do a sort of favored nations.
Yeah. So if you think about it this way, there's a lot of people there's drug tourism. So people go to Mexico to get the same drugs that are too expensive here.
Right.
People go to Canada to get the same drugs that are too expensive here. That happens today.
Right.
I just don't know what the mechanism is, how he's able to lower it by 38%. Hopefully he does. So it's good for everyone. And then if you think about another layer of it, shouldn't you short, not financial advice,
right?
Shouldn't you short pharma companies, health insurance companies, because they're going to make less money?
Right. Is there anything happening to them in futures based on this tweet?
Let me see. Let's see United Healthcare. But like, I'll give you an example. There's a drug that Mav had to take at one point.
Yeah.
2 drugs, one for a short period of time, for 2 months. Take a guess what the sticker cost was. Not what we paid.
Right.
The sticker cost.
For a bottle of it?
It was an injection.
For one injection.
Per month.
So one injection per month. What is the cost of one injection?
No, one injection daily, 2 injections daily.
Okay.
For a full month. What do you think the sticker price was?
$10,000.
$150,000.
What?
Obviously, we didn't pay that. Insurance covered most, like 99% of it. We paid a few $100. There's another drug that he took. $15,000 a month was the sticker price. We paid $50 because of insurance.
Right.
For 4 years. So we paid $50,000. The drug cost $15,000. Right. Insurance covered the rest. The pharmaceutical companies made all their money.
So he could he could potentially be on like $200,000 or $300,000 worth of medicine in a month.
I mean, he's been on millions of dollars of medicine.
It's so crazy. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is a good thing.
It is a good thing. I hope he gets it done. This is the one executive order I'm very
there we go. Look at
happy
about. You were getting him. He's flipping.
And you realize how long it took for the $150,000 a month to get approved?
Right.
Can you imagine the insurance company?
Yeah.
Arguing daily. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what sort of trick he has up his sleeve here. I don't know how you make that happen, but it seems pretty positive.
If he gets it done, I just want to know the mechanism. Good for him. United Health up.
That makes sense.
So they haven't. No one's taking their medicine.
You want to talk about another insurance policy that's getting really popular?
Yeah.
Murder insurance. Bet you never heard of that.
I have not.
So we've all heard of health insurance. What about the other way around? Health insurance, in sort of a way, makes it easier to stay alive. Murder insurance covers you if you kill somebody. So apparently there's a general kind of rise. This isn't a California thing, right? This is a general thing.
Yeah, general.
Okay. So there's a rise in gun ownership. I think really ever since COVID and that stuff, and some of the crime and stuff going up. I've heard a lot about this, but a rise in gun ownership. It seems like there's a rise in like stand your ground type of laws, or maybe more lenience on self-defense and things like that. What that's causing is a brand new market for what, the haters are calling it murder insurance, but it is essentially like self-defense insurance where, obviously these cases are all very, very tricky. So, someone breaks into your house, you shoot them and kill them. There's a court case that happens. Was your life in danger? Were they running away from you? Were they threatening? All of these things have to be figured out. And there are people who have, essentially did what they thought was self-defense and then have been charged with murder and, or manslaughter or all these different things. It's a very, very, very messy situation. And there's a lot of lawsuits. Usually the intruder's family would sue and all this stuff. So there's a new type of insurance that covers if you find yourself in a self-defense situation and are bogged down with legal fees and things. Pretty interesting. I would just say my only take on this is like, it's a shame that this is a new emerging thing.
Yeah, I'm sure so many people, I do as well, that have all bought guns.
Yeah.
That are all ready to be Rambo.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, yeah. You buy your first gun and you're like, I dare you to break into my fucking house.
And I don't know I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know of a single person that shot someone that has come in their house.
Come in their house. No. I know a story, though, that I can tell now because it's just so vague and there's no way to know who it is. I know a story of a person who their girlfriend got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something, and it they didn't hear it, and they sort of woke up to someone in the bathroom, and it startled them, and they grabbed their gun and didn't shoot or anything, but it was just it was a weird case of ooh, I don't know if guns under the bed are always, things can.
I know exactly what story you're talking about.
Yeah,
that was pre-COVID, pre all this stuff.
Yeah, that's what happened to that track guy with one leg or whatever, no legs, Oscar Pistorius. Well, yeah, I guess he got charged with murder, but that's what he claimed happened. Anyway, look, I know so many people who have gotten guns who think that they're so ready to shoot and kill somebody. There is a huge rise. We've talked about it a lot on the podcast of break-ins in California.
I think every metropolitan city, right? So Chicago.
Yeah, but I just mean we personally have heard the story, so I understand why someone would get a gun. I understand why someone would feel.
I had a home invasion.
Right, you did. But no, number one, I don't know anyone who's shot anybody for breaking into their house. And I think it's a really messy situation. It's just the thing that bums me out is that this is a rising thing because that's how common these issues are.
Yeah, 100% that people feel threatened and feel emboldened to take these measures. So I get both things. Look, I have 2 kids, wife, family.
Right.
I do not own a gun.
Right.
Because I don't know how to operate it. I don't care how many times you go to the gun range. There's statistics, NYPD, they're in the low teens of accuracy. Right. And these are trained police officers.
Right.
So what do you think if you're just
scared shitless, squeezing a trigger?
Yeah, you might kill your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might kill your wife. Who knows who you're going to kill?
Well, that's why I told that story is it's all Rambo until, your kid is, I don't know, trips over a toy in the middle of the night and makes a noise and you go try to Rambo. It's just it's a very, very tricky, dangerous situation. And from these stories, even if you are right, so to speak, someone broke in, they had a weapon and you shot them. That alone is a terrible, traumatizing experience. Murdering someone in your living room, and now you have to go cash in on your murder insurance and get sued and go to court for murder.
Yeah, it can be criminal too. So in the home invasion that I had, which was own goal, our door was open.
Right.
So someone just walked in.
Right.
And after the homeless guy left, I talked to the cops and I said, I don't own a gun. Had I owned a gun and shot him, would I be in trouble? He's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because your door was open and he just walked in.
And look, the word that I have heard from my friends, I'm not a lawyer, is like, if that happened with this gentleman who walked into your door, the belief is that, and this could be so wrong, but the belief is that if you shoot him, you have to make sure that you kill him so that
he doesn't have an alibi.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? If you don't, I think cops have told a handful of people we know that you don't kill him, you're screwed. And then think about the trauma. You just killed someone.
That's what I'm saying. Or imagine you shoot this guy in like the stomach and like he's kind of like, you don't know. And what? So you have to stand over him and execute him in your living room to make sure you're good? What?
And then you have to live there?
Yeah. And your kids heard it? That's why, like, when we have these friends that we know aren't fucking killers that are like, bro, I will fucking, no, you won't, dude. It's
and
so
the thing
crazy.
is, we have, I can say it because he's blogged about it. Caesar, who used to work for us.
Yeah.
He got shot 6 times and survived.
Yeah.
In the LA River.
Yeah.
He's blogged about this whole thing. It's a great blog post about his personal experience.
Yeah.
But he got shot 6 times. So how many times are you going to shoot someone till you kill them?
Right. That's my point. And you're going to walk up and shoot them in the head to make sure so they don't testify against you. And you're also going to kind of realize in the middle of it that like, oh, this is probably just a homeless guy. He doesn't have a weapon on him.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So anyway, so there's just this story in Wall Street Journal about a guy who this happened to. Someone was stealing from his house or from his lot repeatedly. And so he camped out and waited for them. And he claims that he woke up from a nap with the person right up on him with a shiny object in his hand and shot him and killed him and had to go through this whole process. But anyway, it's such a thing that now there's an insurance specifically for it. So
think about it. Like 6 gunshots didn't kill our very good friend.
Yeah.
So what is it? You're going to do 15?
I mean, what, just to be sure? You know, like, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot the homeless guy 5 times in your living room, but he's still kind of groaning. And you're like, well, I remember Caesar survived 6. Let me pump 3 more into this guy in front of my kids. Yeah, right. That's crazy. It's just like, man, I wish this wasn't. And the thing is, I would love to write this story off as like, oh, fuck, weird fringe thing. But like we've talked about on the pod, everyone I know with a house has had it broken into. Some of them with people with them in it. And so I get it. Like you would want, I don't know. I think this insurance would make sense. All right. Let's wrap it up with shout outs. We have a shout out from Andre, just plain and simple. Shout out to all the moms. I agree, Andre. Shout out.
Yeah.
From Hector, shout out to me because my wife just gave birth. Okay, Hector, you're off to a rough start. 2025 Dad of the Year. But honestly, shout out to my wife, Jackie, for having such a great labor. She wanted a home birth and knocked it out the park. Seems really common on this pod. I feel like we've had a couple shout outs of home births, which is nuts.
Yeah, didn't we have one in the last pod?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
People are just popping out babies at home. Also, shout out to my daughter, Camila, who is the best sister her baby brother could ever ask for. Yes, I'm making my 5-year-old daughter listen to this part of the podcast. Haha. Camila, I hope you had earplugs on while we were talking about all the murder and the shooting. It's a weird time. But anyway, shout out to you. You're being a great sister, I'm sure. And shout out to Jackie. From Menace. I want to shout out all of you at Group Chat for staying current and relevant no matter what age group. I have so many peers that don't keep their ear to the streets like Dion and Drama. Half of you might be viewing the streets from a golf course. I take that personally, but at least you're paying attention or trying to learn about what's new. Thank you, Menace. I appreciate that. Okay, from Jack, shout out to my boy Kiefer Godfrey on his beautiful new baby daughter. He is a super hard worker and going to be a great dad with his partner, Tiffany. I will say,
Congrats.
Group chat listeners are keeping this population issue under control. You know, a lot of babies.
We're getting more listeners, and I've gotten DMs and no friends that they play it at breakfast. So like tomorrow morning, there's going to be like a 5-year-old listening to Group Chat while the parents are listening.
I got to watch my damn language. You know,
they like it.
Lots of curse words. I also did.
I play explicit lyrics to my 3-year-old.
Yeah, you might as well teach him young. Just say those are bad words. I did get some good feedback just out in the world that from a young lady who loves the arguing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just walked past me and said, the pod's been really great lately. And I said, why? What specifically? And she said, love the arguing.
This is in your neighborhood, or where were you?
Yeah, around my place. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her. She loves it. From Adam, shout out to 2 of my best friends, Will and Courtney. They just got married this weekend, and wishing them all the love and happiness, especially as they have just moved across the country to Irvine. Wow. Shout out to you guys. Welcome to California. From Eric, happy Mother's Day to my incredible wife, Lisa Rials.
Riles or Rials?
Maybe Riles. Okay, listen,
Sorry.
Lisa, I apologize.
Sorry if you butchered it.
I just butchered it, but that makes it even more personal. You're the heart and soul of our family, pouring endless love and care into our beautiful 9-month-old daughter, Mia. Your strength and grace as a mom are truly inspiring. Huge congratulations to us for buying our dream home on the Connecticut shoreline, a perfect place to grow our family and make lifelong memories. Together, we've built an amazing life, and I'm beyond excited for all the years ahead raising Mia and chasing our dreams. Love you always. Happy Mother's Day. That was a great one, Eric.
That's a great one. It's funny that a lot of our listeners have like kind of grown up with us, and they have like having newborns.
Yeah.
Like they probably started listening 6-7 years ago, and now they have like a young kid.
A lot of kids and marriages. It's pretty cool.
I have a shout out. Carly, who listens to the pod, she's I don't want to out her business, whatever. She's part of our community, grinding, and she listens to the pod. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you. And then last but not least, a reminder, we are hiring a video editor. YouTube, TikToks, listen to us talk all day. I mean, I could only imagine that probably being a group chat video editor is better than a Harvard degree at this point.
By far, you get to talk to us.
Better than an MBA.
You get in the group chat.
Yeah, you get to come in. You get to, I mean, come on. A lot of entertainment in our group chat. Okay, so DM us on. Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, DM us on Instagram if you're interested, or you know someone who might be. We need help.
Lastly.
Yep.
We've talked about this multiple weeks. This Kendrick tour.
Yep.
I mean, how's Drake coming back from this?
Yeah.
I've asked you this question for like every weekend because it just is compounding at a rate that you can't explain.
I mean, who would have thought? Like, if you think about Drake, like, you know, kind of stirring up some, I mean, I guess, whatever, you can argue who started it, but like Drake went hard on all these diss records trying to kind of bait Kendrick. And then it's just like the run of the song of the year.
Yep.
Grammy wins, Super Bowl, and then a tour all summer where he's just calling you a pedophile.
And A minor and all of it. In
every major city in the world.
He's going to Toronto in June.
Oh, man.
And there's a video from MetLife that I saw on social. You could hear it from the parking lot, like the whole song.
And people are probably loving it.
How do you come back? I'll ask this every week for the next 10 months because it's just getting crazy.
Yeah, it'll be a great lesson. I mean, I look at this from, you know, this is kind of a business podcast. And I would say from a business lens, it's a lesson. It will be a lesson in marketing. Like, can you revamp an injured product we'll see. It's gonna be fun to watch.
If they do, it's impressive.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, listen, everyone have a great week. Shout out to everyone eating breakfast. Listen to Group Chat. You guys specifically. Thanks for kicking off your week with us. And shout out to everyone just fucking getting married and having babies out there, man. I feel like, we have a lot of very responsible Kathys doing all the right things. Great job.
Exactly.
Have a good week.
Peace.
Peace.